Hello, this is Martin Brossman, and I'm going to do a microphone test with several different microphones. I am connected directly to the backbone of my internet service with pretty good speed on the internet, about 24 up and about 250 down to give an idea. We are broadcasting live over Google Hangout On Air, and the goal is to check the audio of several different microphones. Right now you are listening on my MacBook Pro with the built-in microphone and built-in camera. So notice the audio quality. I'm in my podcast room, it's relatively quiet. The blower's on in the background distantly for fan, and I'm speaking at the normal voice I would use if I were doing some type of broadcast. I'm about, I don't know, the distance you'd sit from the microphone. Now we are going to our first microphone to plug in, which is a classic. You probably know it. Very popular, and it's the Blue Yeti. It has a number of adjustments on the back. You can see that. It is a figure 8, a very directional pattern, omnidirectional, and then kind of this side infinity sign, which to me would be like maybe side to side. This one is, here's the front with the mute, the volume control here, of course, for the monitor. And then we have gain. Now gain I've got right about straight up, and we're going to try to drive that up further when we go. This is popular with a lot of podcasts. It has a nice tone, good for people around it, but it's pretty big. Several of the people that I really admire, like Mike Phillips, as far as an expert in technology, really prefers a different type of mic, and I'll show that in this test as well. But this one we've used for a number of our podcasts. I'm going to set it here so you can see it. I'm probably about a hand and a half away from it, and I'm going to activate it now. Stand by. Save. Now I am talking on the Yeti. So you are hearing it with the Yeti between me and here. This is about the distance, the voice of it, and it is switched in the direction where towards me to see what it sounds like, see how it sounds. Notice the tone quality of my voice. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. See what you think of the sound. Now I'm going to deliberately, good, you can see it here, I'm going to turn this gain up. So I'm going to turn the gain up to almost 3/4 the way up. Can you see that? I'm going to turn the gain up and see what it sounds like at that point. It should, see if it overdrives real bad. It looks like it's kind of overdriving at this moment. One of my complaints of most mixers for the podcast world, they seem to have attenuated gain, so it never seems to seem loud enough. And I really like this feature on this thing. Now I'm going to jack this up all the way to create a distortion. Hopefully that's distorting. It looks like it's overdriving on the little things. Now it's trying to do gain control. This should be a distortion now. I won't abuse you very long with that. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to switch this back. Now we're at 12 noon. Test 1, 2, 3, 4 at 12 noon here. Can you see it? Test 1, 2, 3, 4 at 12 noon. And then, sorry for the bumps. There we go. Now we're turning it all the way down in this test. So now I have put it all the way down, and but now you have it turned just about, is that right? All the way down. So now the gain is all the way down. And notice the test as I'm speaking, it looks like it's auto adjusting. I don't know, but I want to hear what it sounds. And then I'll put it back to middle. And then I'm going to switch it over to omnidirectional. See if it can still track. There we go. Now we're in omnidirectional, hearing my voice on it. I am not going to switch back and forth because I don't want to take a lot of time with this. But this is testing out this mic. So we're going to check this mic, and then I'm going to switch over to one of Mike Phillips's favorite mics on the next one. So stand by. What I'm going to do is switch back to the built-in microphone. So now you're on the built-in microphone here with the Mac while I get the next mic. The next microphone is this one right here. All right, so this is the next microphone. Can you see it? This is one of Mike's favorites. for the money for a beginning podcaster. Both, many people use them, popular. If you notice on the back, you get a plug that will plug it in with the USB cable that comes with it right into here. And one of Mike's points on this is be careful plugging this in because that can get broken easy. But it also has an XLR output for your mixer, which is nice. And it has a headphone jack with a volume control. So you got a lot of punch out of this. And it's a nice little blue light telling you it's on. It comes with a nice little tripod and stand. And the way Mike describes it that I like is, imagine it's like a flashlight shining into your tonsils. So you want to direct it because this is designed to reject a lot of around noise. So let's go ahead and switch this on. I'm still in built-in, and I'm going to switch. The model of this is AT2005 USB. The model number of this is AT2005 USB. It is plugged in now. I want you to see what you think of the quality. It looks like good deflection here in broadcasting. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing out the quality of this and see how it sounds. You can go backward and compare to the Yeti, but I'd like to speak for a minute so you get the idea. Now, this one's kind of neat because I'm going to turn this away, and as you turn, see if you can hear my voice. That's designed so that it will reject a lot of noise that is not here. So now watch, I'm turning it back and we're pointing it right at my mouth. And so that's one of the things of this mic that's quite nice and useful. This is testing this mic out. Want to see what you think of it and see how the quality of it is, comparing it. Talking, test 1, 2, 3. Love to hear your views on the different mics. Now, our next mic I'm going to use is a very standard webcam, very standard Logitech webcam. And I thought it would be a good one to compare this against to see the audio quality on it. So stick with me on this and we'll get this guy set up. Going back to the built-in microphone on the computer. We're going to set this down carefully. All right, now I'm going to go activate it. And it's the HD Pro Webcam C920. HD Pro Webcam C920. So this is the HD Pro Webcam C920. And if you notice, here it is. I have it on my tripod mount so I can mount it easily for us. And I'm going to set it down on my computer facing up at me. So just imagine it. And this is an audio test of the quality. So testing this one out, see what you think of this one. Again, this is really a good webcam for people. If all you can do is get one webcam and a microphone, this is a pretty nice one. I like it because it allows a tripod stand. There's a tripod mount. This tripod plate's mounted on it, and it also will clip onto the back of your computer as well. So you have several pluses on this little unit. Pretty nice, and I want to compare the audio of that. So see what you think of the audio of that. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go to using this guy right here as an interface, and we're going to plug it in and then use this nice Sennheiser mic. So here, if you want to get, let's get that so you can see it. Sennheiser, there we go. See the Sennheiser right there, so you can see it. And it's going to be the E835S, E835S, and we're going to plug it in. I'm going to step away for a second, get a cable I need for it. 1 second. Again, this is an informal test. Right now, you're listening on the built-in microphone. And then this has a nice little plug here with its own cable. And then XLR input on this side. Now, this will provide phantom power, but should work fine with. So we're going to test it out, and then we're going to test it out on a Shure Lavalier mic next. So we're going to do both at this point. So let me get my cable. I'm going to hold this one about the same range as the other microphones here on my table. So I'm holding this about the same range to hear it. And it has this guy has a little gain control here. So I'm turning it all the way up, which should be kind of overdriving at this moment. And then I'm going to turn it down and test and talk while I'm turning all the way down till it stops. So you should nothing at all, just about, unless I'm right on top of it, and put it up about halfway and see what you think. Can you hear me now? Testing 1, 2, 3. Turning it up to about what I'd call halfway. And that's, I want to show you what that looks like on this little device here. Can you see that? Let's get that in focus. So you get to see the name, the label there at halfway. That's kind of halfway point. So testing 1, 2, 3, see what you think of the quality of this. I'm going to turn up a little bit more and testing 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm talking right into the microphone. It looks like it's not quite deflecting as much as I'd like, but then on some peaks it seems to. And I'm trying to was making some pop noise if I could. See how it sounds with this microphone. So it's definitely the advantage of this. That's all the way up. That looks like that's overdriven. Now it's down. Testing 1, 2, 3 with that. Testing 1, 2, 3 with that. Now we're going to unplug this and then built-in microphone so I can keep talking to you. And next, we're going to use a Shure Lavalier with this unit. Give me a second to do it. Shure Lavalier is a real nice. This is a Shure MS93, Shure MS93 with this little mic that's omnidirectional. So Shure MS93. Okay, MS93 with this little Shure omnidirectional. See that little guy? Okay, so now we have the lavalier. I'm going to clip it on to my shirt right about here. So it's just about here. See where it's clipped on my shirt? A little loop. Okay, I got the loop right to protect it. Then I am going to plug it into this. I'm going to unplug it so there's no power to it when I plug it in. So I'm plug it into our little ICICLE or ICICLE. Put it about their middle setting there. Let's get that back about middle there. Plug this in. Okay, now we're plugged in, attached. So we've got this as the interface going to a USB connection, and you notice this has a little area here and USB. So now let's select it and see what it sounds like. So it says blue ICICLE. Okay, now I'm talking with the lavalier with this unit. This is the lavalier connected to this unit that's connected to USB to see what the audio quality is. I really want to know your views on this. And again, we have this Shure MS93 interface that again then goes to the Shure lavalier and uses the mini 3-prong to plug into the Shure module that I think it's in impedance matcher or something. And we want to test the audio quality of this. Now, I have a gain control here, so I'm going to turn it to the left. So right there, do you see that's a little control there? I'm going to turn it to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, going down, all the way down, and see how my audio looks pretty low there on the little picture. So the auto adjustment can't do too much with it. Now I'm turning up to, this is midpoint on this unit, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm turning it up all the way slowly to full. Want to hear what it sounds like? I'm interested too. So I'm going to turn it back to midpoint. So that gives us this as a lavalier set at midpoint. And then I'm going to turn it to, let's see, would it be 12 noon, like 2 o'clock. See, 2 o'clock, see what it's like. Maybe it's too loud, but testing it out. And 1, 2, 3, 4, back to 12 noon. This is important, especially if we have soft people. This is going right into the computer. This would be just hooked up to me speaking. Next test, our next test. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. We are now on the blue NESSIE recording, speaking, hearing what you think of the volume. Yep, We're on the blue NESSIE, all right. Double checking it, checking the volume about the same level. I'm talking about the same level to see what you think of it. Very important to test it out, see what you think. Love to get your views. I'm going to make a little switch over to from the circle to the flat line and see if you notice any quality on it. Now, I'd love to see what you think of the quality difference between these. The little diagram shows a flat line there. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to switch over. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. See what the quality of this sounds. This is a test of the broadcast station. And then now it is in the circle direction at this point. Now, can you hear me now? So what I noticed is when I switched to the musical while it's plugged in, we lost the volume completely. So we're going to try it once more. Now I'm in the musical setting. Let me know if you think that sounds better or different. That gives the different settings. I'm going to put it back to the center. Let me just mute a second. Okay, now we are back in the center. This completes the test. This is the NESSIE. And I have one more mic I want to try. So we'll see what that's like. Stand by. This is a tiny little fella here. Little portable unit. I thought it'd be good to check as well as a comparison. So we're going to switch off and switch to it. Stand by. Going back to the built-in microphone. Back on the built-in microphone. Before we get to it, let me show you this. It's another Samsung microphone, real cute little thing. Has its own platform, can clip onto something, folds and protects itself. It's called the Go Mic. I am not on it yet. It has a 4-direction, a -10 dB, and an omnidirectional. Top switch is 4-direction. I don't know that you can see that. Middle switch is -10 B and lower is omnidirectional. We're going to just stick on this, and then it goes from red, green to red, based if you're overdriving it. So let me switch to it. Samsung Go Mic. Yeah, Samsung Go Mic. Samsung Go Mic. Sounds like a Japanese ad for maybe beverage. Anyway, this is testing this microphone out. Love to see what you think of the quality on it. This is a test 1, 2, 3, 4 on the microphone. I am not going to switch this to omnidirectional. I just want to give a contrast of a pretty affordable, like a $49 microphone that I keep in my bag for possible podcast all the time, ready to go with it and see what it sounds like. So this is a test of this microphone, see what it sounds like. Last microphone I want to check out, switching back, built-in microphone now, unplug this guy. And I'm going to end by going back of all of those to Mike's favorite for the money, Mike Phillips, this Audio-Technica, so we can hear it once more in the stream and see what you think of it. And this will complete this test of testing out different microphones for Hangout On Air to see what your views are on. I want to get this. It's sort of informal, but I want to get them so I can return these ones. So stand by. Now we'll go back to this fellow right here. See this fellow? Audio-Technica. So give me a second while I get plugged in. It is on. It has an on-off switch. I'm going to just hand hold this now to let you hear it. I'm switching over. This is the AT2005 USB. AT2005 USB. And very nice. Again, it has XLR as well. So you have 2 options on this mic. See what you think of the quality and gain on it. And I really like to hear what your views are of it. This is comparing this, and I think I'm going to go back to the Yeti. So we have one more comparison of the 2 big kind of most popular discussed microphones to see what your view on it is. Now watch when I take this. I'm going to take this and turn it away so you see that. Now that's not at my voice, and then that's away. So it really is pretty good at rejecting that which it's not pointing at. Now that can be pretty cool, because if you're recording somebody at a convention or something and you hold it and say, and I want to know your view, and then you hold it over to them, you know, it's going to reject you, and then you bring back when you talk. So there's some real payoff for this little fellow for recording in a live situation where you're doing an interview with a microphone and it hooks into maybe an H4 or something like that. Our last microphone. So test 1, 2, 3. Notice my voice. I'm going to switch off of this. Back to built-in microphone for contrast. Turn this thing off. Unplug this. Okay, now we're on the Yeti stereo for the final comparison. I really want to hear your views on this. We have gone through quite a few different microphones, eager to hear people's view on it. I'm hooked in through Ethernet to the main backbone of my network here, which is Time Warner at a pretty high speed. It's supposed to be like 20 or something up and about 200 plus down. I am on Hangout On Air using the internal video of my webcam that comes into the MacBook that I'm using, plugging in through the USB and testing these microphones. That's the conditions of this. So let me know your views. Thank you very, very much. This completes it. Martin Brossman. And if you want to hear the podcast show I do with Greg Heyer, it is Linking Into Sales, linkingintosales.com. And our online training is socialselling.training. So take care. I'll also put the 2 podcast communities in there that I like, one on Google Plus and one on LinkedIn. Again, Mike Phillips helps manage with some other people, and they do a great job. Take care. Have a good day.